Attention, attention. This is a call for passengers Lumi, Entrape. Please report to Bulk Terminal 1B immediately. Tats Bulk Terminal, Notran, Notmoon Bulk, Abrisk and Confident Strut will do just fine.
Millie, what in the glacial force are you doing out here? You were supposed to be plugged into wires and beeping rhythmically in a hospital bed.
Surprise! Turns out my ticker's not done ticking. They gave me a full tune of cardiac angiography, a quick rotor-router job, and 2 brand new stents. I'm basically Iron Man now, but with fewer millionaire issues.
Bro, I was ready to mourn you with interpretive dance and everything. Lumi said no, but I had already rehearsed. Oil shall weep and gears shall rest.
Ooh, that's sweet. But no, I'm not going anywhere. They found a nasty clog in one of my coronary artery, like someone poured cement into my fuel line. But they ballooned that sucker open and popped in a couple of metallic toothpicks. Boom! Blood flow restored, drama postponed.
So that was coronary artery disease. Sneaky little bugger.
Yep, basically, the arteries got all clingy with plaque, cholesterol and junk. Totally not my vibe. It's like when someone leaves sawdust in your gears. Annoying, slow, and bound to jam up the system eventually.
But you're okay now? For real?
I'm better than okay. I've got stents, meds, and a strict anti-protein diet. They even gave me a stress ball shaped like a heart. I named it a regret.
That's beautiful. So what now? You gonna take it easy for a bit?
Oh, definitely. Doc says walks are great. And I quote, don't run marathons, but do strut your metallic self.
Strut. You know I love a good strut. Let's take the scenic route. No high-speed chases or stampedes today.
Deal. So I got to say, this whole brush with that thing, wildly motivating. I'm gonna join a cardiac support group. We call ourselves the Unclockables.
I love it. You always were a bit of a heartbreaker. Now it's just more literal.
Exactly. And hey, that's a big deal, but not a death sentence. Get it early, treat it smart, and suddenly you've got a second chance.
You're basically invincible. If your story were a movie, it'd be called Stents and Sensibility.
Or the fast and the fibrillated.
Keep them coming, pals. Laughter's good for the heart, and besides, I don't think I can die. I've been rebooted too many times.
In this episode of Anograph machining, we are not going to do any machining. We are also not going to talk about those conventional machines, no, but we are talking about maintenance, inspection, and maintenance and inspection of one of the most important machines of your life. And that machine is actually your heart. Well, as you probably have suspected, I went through this, what is that called? It's called infarction, coronary infarction, maybe, yeah. Well, it's heart attack is another name for that, and the third name for the whole symptom is Coronary Artery Disease, CAD. Well, and as you can see, I survived, and actually my condition is better than ever. Yeah, the operation they did me fixed not just the current situation, but some of the earlier things that I had, and now it's okay. Well, how long will it be okay depends on me. Yeah. So why I make such a video about this thing? Well, I'm not after huge numbers in like in watches or a lot of subscribers, etc. What I'm after is that, well, first of all, if I look at the demography of my, the statistics of my videos, one thing that is very clear is that my viewers, you, my dear viewers, most of you are similarly aged as I am. Well, that means that you probably have the same a little bit of illnesses, etc. Also. Yeah. It all depends if you have been smoking, or if you have been drinking a lot of alcohol, or been straining your body at some point of your life very much, and been in accidents and whatever. But yet, because according to my statistics, most of you are over 60 years old. Well, this is a club for old gentlemen. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, all of my subscribers, I think they are all men. Please, if there is even one woman, please put it in the description, so I would be really surprised. So yeah, okay, this is one thing. And another thing why I am making this episode about a thing called heart attack. It's a very crime subject, and can be really because it's so it's very near of death. It's well, it's CAD, coronary artery disease, is the top killer in the world. Well, at each minute it kills about I think it was 15 or 17 persons every minute. So it's really bad. And well, talking more about this disease is that most people don't even know that they have it. It's so very the symptoms are not very pronouncing until you are in a very bad shape. Then the symptoms are like dying. It's very bad. And yeah, But before that, it's barely noticeable. And yeah, and then it develops very, very slowly. It takes decades to develop this disease. And yeah, but after you have passed a certain point, it will actually start developing quite a lot faster. Yeah, there are some contributing factors here for this disease. One is that heart muscle is no more so flexible. It means that it collects this grime easier because it doesn't move that much. It's easier to collect the grime. Yeah, the CAD, coronary artery disease, it's about so-called plaque. It's mainly cholesterol and some other things that collect between. It's not inside the arteries or outside the arteries. In between there is a thing where it collects, and then it tends to put the artery closed. And when it gets closed, yeah, there you are. Yeah. So this is the thing that happened to me, and yeah, some people get it so that they have no symptoms at all. Even the heart attack can be quite mild sensation. You just lose your consciousness. You fall in the floor and die. Luckily, mine was very loud. I was in a great pain, and it was well, now it's your time to go to hospital. There was no doubt about that. So yeah. So I called the emergency number, which is in Finland is 112. In USA it's 911, I believe, and they sent an ambulance. Yes, they make a few questions. They try to make sure that it's not something like heartburn, like eating too fatty meal or something like that. No, they make a few questions. But after they are about 20% sure that it's a heart attack, they will send the ambulance, and it comes fast. So why ambulance? Why not letting your wife drive you to the hospital, or drive yourself? Well, there are several reasons for this. First of all, you shouldn't be driving yourself. No. You can crash, you can lose your consequences. You can faint while driving, and there you go. Even though you didn't die on your heart attack, you will die because you drive off from a bridge. So that's it. And another thing is that if your wife drives, well, that's a little bit better, but not optimal. Because if your condition gets worse in road, there is nothing she can do to help you. She must drive. So ambulance always has at least two persons. One is driving, and the other one is taking care of the patient. And furthermore, they can start your treatment right away. Usually it is something like giving you aspirin if you didn't take it yourself, maybe measuring your blood pressures, etc., keeping you lying flat and calm you down. That's very important. And if the worst happens, they can also defibrillate you. Yeah. For me that wasn't that bad. So what happened to me was that actually the symptoms lift off when they come already. It had eased quite a lot, but they still took the EKG. That's with a few forms where you can read what. Well, that I believe is a lot like reading tea leaves. There is these curves where you say, okay, there is something strange going on in that point of the curve. Yeah, but then they called a cardiologist, and she said that, oh yeah, this person should come to hospital. And they tested me a little bit so that I'm in a shape that, and because they were really busy, there was another patient waiting, they had to go. But they said that my wife should drive me to the hospital as soon as possible. But if I wouldn't have passed their tests, I would be transported to hospital with that ambulance. Okay. So I was quite lucky I didn't have the major attack, although later it revealed that it was really major. I was just extremely lucky. Okay, what happened in the hospital was really interesting. When you come to hospital in a situation like that, well, if I would have come with an ambulance, they would have called ahead into the hospital and say that here is a patient coming, please prepare. And they would have cleaned the bed for me, and everything would have been ready there in the hospital for me to arrive, and that's it. No waiting, no nothing, no nothing. Yes, and in a heart attack, this time is everything. Getting the proper care in a timely fashion is can tell whether you die or don't die. So it's really important to get it right away. So, but anyway, they in a hospital, they if you come like that, of course they informed the hospital that there is coming this one, and they were somewhat prepared. For example, there was already a doctor waiting for me, and I didn't need to wait anything. Just directly to the tests, and what they did, they take well, 2 blood samples and in 1 hour intervals. This blood sample is something that reveals whether you have had some damage in your heart. The heart when the heart muscle gets damaged, like in a heart attack, it will emit biomarker, and this biomarker is called troponine. And at first, when the attack hits, the troponine levels are pretty low or even undetectable. So, yeah, and they wait. They take the first sample, and then they wait 1 hour and take another sample, and then they compare these samples, the troponine level. Well, my first troponine level was something decent, and the second pass of the scales, it was really high. So they said that usually they put these kind of persons in the basement. There is a special room for patients that don't whine anymore. So yeah. Well, anyway, as I said, I was extremely lucky in many ways, and I'm glad I was lucky. Yeah. So, next thing that happened, they noticed that, oh, okay, this is really has been really bad. This person must now. They put me in strict bed. So they put me into what was the name of that? Okay, they put me to bed and said that you are not going to come up from there. You are going to stay there, and there is no reason to come up. Yeah, and it means that I was there and I had all these wires around me and all. Then there was this blood pressure instrument which was squeezing itself every 15 minutes. They told me that you could try to sleep a little bit. Well, you can try, yeah, of course you can try, but this apparatus was like squeezing, and if you have ever been taken a blood pressure, you know there is this, what's it, manset. It's a thing that is put into your arm, and then this squeezes like, and it's not painless. And that one every 15 minutes. Yeah, okay. And then I needed to visit the bathroom. Well, they gave me a bottle. Because I was not allowed to come out of the bed, so they gave me, here is the bottle. And yeah, this bottle, in Finland we call this bottle a duck. I believe it's called duck in quite many languages, but in Finland it's called duck. And it's not glamorous at all. And yeah, well, but I didn't get up from the bed, no. Yeah. So then there I was sleeping that night. They were monitoring me very closely, very closely. The next day, then I had another cardiologist look over me. They took some scans with sonar scanning. What's that? Ultrasound scanning. They looked into my muscles. They can see, because it's a Doppler thing. You cannot see anything that is not moving. But if something is moving, you can see it on your screen. So they saw that I have a few muscles in my heart that are thicker than normal, and that's a bad thing actually, because that means that they collect plaque. They collect that stuff that clogs your arteries easily because they are so thick. So yeah, okay. So and then they sent me to Anograph. Well, it's a way to make your arteries visible, your coronary arteries visible. So what they did, well, it was it sounds really crazy and really scary, but it was not that bad at all. So first of all, they took my wrist, this one actually, and put a tube here. In the artery here in the wrist, yeah. And then they had this long tube which is called catheter. They guided it in there. It went all the way here near my heart. And I was awake all the time, and it was sort of funny because I didn't feel it. First of all, it's really thin. Yeah, it's really thin, and it's really flexible. But there is also a thing that inside of your arteries there are no touch or pain receptors, so you cannot feel it. Yeah, talking about heart being the center of feelings and such. Well, it doesn't feel any pain, and it doesn't feel if you touch it. No, well, yeah. Okay. But anyway, I didn't feel it, but I saw it in the screen. They took a live X-ray. It was an apparatus that is measuring my heart from the top and the bottom. You have this thing, and then you have a live screen which you can look. It's like a real-time movie. They placed that catheter so that they could put some. It's a dye which reacts with it blocks the X-rays. So all the arteries show up out and very precisely there. And it was kind of interesting looking at what happened there. And yeah, and then they found that, oh man, this guy has quite a huge blockage here. So the next step was that they took out the catheter and then put another type of catheter in, and then they it has small balls on it, which are filled with compressed air. I don't know whether it is maybe because it's hospital, maybe it's helium. No, I don't know. It might also be some fluid. I would use fluid because water, for example, because it doesn't, if it bursts, no trouble at all. It's just water. But anyway, they put something. I don't know what the pressure is inside that ball, but it's not small. It's something like well, I don't know. You can search the net. I'm pretty sure they have these values there. And this is called ball angioplasty. Angioplasty, yeah, this one. So they squeeze the arteries inside out. They try to make them bigger. And after they have done that, they put a so-called stent there to keep it that way. So that stent is really interesting. It's a tube made of a mesh. It's like chicken wire. Yeah, it looks like a chicken wire which you have made a roll of. And then it has holes on the side and of course a big hole in the middle, and it's made out of alloy called nitinol. Nitinol is a memory metal. It remembers its shape, so you can crush it and into a small ball, and then when you usually when you warm it, it actually poof, goes to the original form. So this is how they get it in there. It is crushed and they put it there, and then they I believe they heat it up a little bit. I don't know, but I believe so. They heat it up a little bit, and then it poof, goes to its original size, and there you are. And yeah, I got 2 of those there, and yeah, and the result is really, it's amazing. I'm really in a really good shape now. So yeah, and then they just take away the catheters and the tube, and they put here in the wrist. It's a pressure device which you can adjust the pressure. It's like a big wristwatch where you can adjust the pressure what it is putting onto there. Because if you don't press it, it will bleed. It's an artery after all there. So yeah, okay. And after that they said that tomorrow you can go home. Usually the patients after that angioplasty, they go home the same day or the next day. Yeah. And then after this this episode there in the hospital, and yes, I asked because I knew already then that I will make this video, and so I asked them to give me if they can give me the CD. I knew that they can give that CD where they had these Xray things, and they had it. And it's I mean, it has been running there in the background. You probably have noticed that. Yeah, and it's really it's amazing, I would say. So and then after that I got a few medication. One medication is for my high blood pressure. It's a very small thing. Then I have another controlling my cholesterol, usually these clots, this plaque is cholesterol, and therefore you need to lower the bad cholesterol down. Mine was not sky high, but not low enough so that it would clean things up. So now it's very low at the moment. I know it already. And then there was very little aspirin every day to prevent clots. I don't know what could clot anymore, to prevent them. And then they gave me, because I now have foreign particles in my heart, they gave me something that is, I need to take it twice a day for the next 2 years. And this is to prevent my body from trying to get rid of those stents. Yeah, but it's a small price for this thing called life. So yeah, and now I'm at home and I have a very strict diet. I'm eating a lot of vegetables and no hard fats at all. Olive oil, yes, but then well, yeah, sausages, no. That's bad. But then again, I have a very strict schedule, so that I eat precisely at the same time. This helps my body to get adjusted to this new thing, and then again exercise every day. So the funny thing again, the first day I was walking with when I came back, so the next day we went for a walk, 1 kilometer. It's about, it's less than 1 mile. We walked that 1 kilometer and it took 20 minutes, which is a long time for 1 kilometer. And it was painful, sort of. And my heart rate went up to 110 or something like that, just by walking. Well, now there has been some, maybe 2 weeks from that occasion, so now at the moment, if I do the same road, it takes me about 10 minutes or less, and it's very hard to get my heart rate up to over 90. So the progress is really fast, and I used to, if you have been watching my videos for a very long time, you know that about I believe 5 or 7 years ago I used to ride bicycle a lot, and I mean a lot. So probably that is what I'm going to start again. I need to do some exercise to keep my body in some shape. Yeah, okay. This was a little bit of a long thing. I hope you didn't, you didn't. I hope I didn't cause you another heart attack by just watching this video. No, I'm in a really good shape. And there is nothing, it feels like there is nothing wrong here now. And it's a good thing. But as I started, why I was making this video, and one of the things was to encourage you to take an inspection of your heart and the condition. Where are you at? Blood pressure, maybe measure your cholesterols, and if you are smoking, and in addition, if you are taking a lot of alcohol, and a lot of alcohol is not that lot. It depends on person. So some persons can tolerate a lot of it, and some persons like me, I cannot tolerate alcohol at all. So one more thing that I was lucky in is that I have never drunk any alcohol. That's a genetic failure I have. I cannot break it down to something. It will poison me if I drink it. So yeah, so I hope that this encourages you to take some steps. And also, I would like to give advice to those of you who have some symptoms, but you are not sure what these are. The CAD, Coronary Artery Disease, symptoms can be really subtle. They can be such that you don't even think that this is some heart related, because it's not the pain here in the chest, it will be on your jaw or in the neck. So you think that you have been doing something and then it's in the neck, but it's actually your heart that is complaining. And then now I will give you some advice what to do if you get a heart attack and didn't pay it. First of all, call an ambulance. Don't drive yourself, or don't let your wife drive. It's not faster. Even if that ambulance takes like 20 minutes to come, it's still faster than driving yourself, because you could drive wherever and you are endangering the rest of the traffic, etc. and you could die while driving. So please don't drive yourself. And then another thing is that when you get the symptoms, don't wait. Don't wait them to get better. Yeah, they will. So quite often they will get better. But if it is a repeating pattern you have been experiencing, let's say 1 week, you should already be in the hospital. Yes. It doesn't, well, I know. Well, in Finland we are in a very lucky situation here. It doesn't cost you anything to go into hospital. Yes, it costs something. All this angioplasty and whatever was included in there, all these ambulances, whatever there was, it costed me personally something like 700 euros. And I know it's nothing compared to USA, for example, where you don't have this kind of social security. You have to have your own, what is it called, vakuutus, this, okay. Yeah, you have to have, I remember, yeah, well, maybe I have some plots here as well. I'm forgetting words, you know. But anyway, yeah, you have to have that health insurance in USA. So, well, in Finland they never ever ask you if you have a health insurance. It's guaranteed for every citizen. Actually, it's guaranteed for any human being in Finland. If you get sick here, you will get the treatment no matter what. Yeah. So please come to Finland. You can get sick here and get your treated. No. Okay. So but still you should go to hospital when the first symptoms are there. Especially if you have this in your family, because this is something you inherit. And then if you are not allergic, take 1 aspirin, chew it, don't swallow, chew it, and let it be, because while you chew it, it will actually penetrate your system through your mouth. It already goes from there. So you can, of course, you can swallow it, but it's better to chew it so it does it faster. That's a thing. It prevents blood clots. yeah, it's very. They give it. The ambulance personnel will give it to you if you didn't get it already yourself. But it's one of the things you should, and it's aspirin. It's acetylsalicyl, whatever that is, aspirin. Yeah. So, and what you should not do, you should not drive yourself. You should not delay and wait for this to go up or become better. No, and those are things that can cost you your life. So, well, hospital isn't that bad. It's better to visit there and yeah. And then how to prevent these things? Well, if it is on your family, it's very hard to prevent it. Of course, you can delay it quite a lot by having a balanced diet, not too much anything, not too little anything, suitable. And then preventing smoking is very bad. It's not that tar. It's actually it is the nicotine. So I had to stop taking. I used to smoke. Then I changed to e-cigarettes, electrical cigarettes. But that's also as bad because it's not the tar. It's the nicotine. Nicotine will squeeze your blood vessels, make them smaller. And this way, it's of course it's a contributing factor. And so they said absolutely no. And I'm in a little bit of a trouble here because, yeah, you know. And then, yeah, no smoking, please. And then another thing that is this alcohol. It depends on person, but little alcohol, probably not a problem. A lot of alcohol, yes, it's a problem. Yeah. And then one thing that you should be active, or at least move yourself every now and then. Lift your ass from the chair and move. Yeah. Okay, but that's it. I think I have been babbling here quite a long time. But you know, I first had these papers. It's all here in the papers, but and I made a version of this, and it was horrible. It's better to talk as you talk. And so I wish you a better life, and yeah. But I will now in the next episode, which will be, you remember, it was this part that we made, which is actually, this is ruined. It needs to be done. So it's in the next episode, and yeah, better than ever. So have a lot of fun and enjoy your life, and what else? Yeah, bye.